Welcome to today's episode, where we explore the Matthew effect, the idea that those who start with advantages are more likely to accumulate even more over time. This dynamic can be found in finances, popularity, career success, and even in education, where early reading skills can set children on an upward or downward spiral. Join us as we dive into how sociologists Robert K. Merton and Harriet Zuckerman first named this concept, why small initial gaps can grow into huge differences, and how factors like preferential attachment and social influence make it harder for people at the bottom to catch up. What is the Matthew effect? The Matthew effect, sometimes called the Matthew principle, refers to the pattern where small initial advantages multiply over time, resulting in a cycle often summarized by the phrase, "The rich get richer and the poor get poorer." Sociologists discovered it when looking at how famous scientists got more credit for similar work than lesser-known researchers. This isn't just about money or fame, it shows up in many areas, from academic publishing to music streaming platforms. Daily life example, think of a new band on a music platform. If their first track happens to go viral, it might shoot up the popularity charts, leading more people to click on it. Meanwhile, equally talented bands, without that initial boost, struggle to be noticed, even if they sound just as good. The term Matthew effect comes from biblical passages, particularly from the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus shares parables about how those who have more will gain even more, while those who have little will lose what they have. Sociologist Robert K. Merton, together with Harriet Zuckerman, borrowed this imagery to describe how rewards and recognition in scientific research tended to cluster around well-known academics, leaving lesser-known but equally capable scientists overshadowed. One of the main explanations behind the Matthew effect is preferential attachment, the idea that resources, credit, and popularity gravitate toward those who already have them. In network science, older or more connected nodes, people, companies, or products gain new links faster than smaller or newer ones. This can be seen in 1. Social media. Popular influencers attract sponsors, which makes them even more visible. 2. Online marketplaces. Best-selling books remain bestsellers because they appear at the top of the list, leading more people to buy them. 3. Scientific citations. Famous researchers get cited more frequently, further increasing their stature. Science and research. Eminent scientists often receive the lion's share of credit and funding, even when junior collaborators are doing much of the groundwork. This dynamic can reinforce the success of those already at the top, making it harder for emerging academics to break in. Music and entertainment. Experiments show that songs appearing high on popularity lists are far more likely to be listened to and downloaded. Once a track is trending, it tends to stay there. Education. Psychologist Keith Stanovich popularized the idea that strong early readers continue to improve rapidly, while struggling readers can fall behind. This widening gap can lead to lifelong challenges. Careers and competitive fields. Certain models of career success demonstrate that once an individual gains a foothold, like a small early achievement, those credentials attract further opportunities. Meanwhile, those who struggle at first often find it tougher to move forward. The Matthew effect helps us see why inequality can grow even in places that claim to reward merit. When a few people or products get early advantages, money, recognition, positive reviews, it becomes easier for them to stay ahead. In contrast, everyone else may fight an uphill battle to be seen and rewarded. Everyday observation. Suppose you start an online store. If you get a few glowing customer reviews and social shares right away, you might rank higher in search results. More visibility brings more sales, more reviews, and even higher rankings. Soon you're an established seller, which further cements your position and makes it much harder for newcomers to gain traction. In education, the Matthew effect is particularly important because it affects children's reading. Research has found that kids who learn to read fluently in the early grades become more confident learners in all their subjects. Those who lag behind often avoid reading tasks, leading to a smaller vocabulary and greater difficulty keeping up. The gap widens over time, echoing the rich get richer dynamic, but in this case, it's good readers read more, get better, and stay ahead. How can institutions or individuals counteract this self-reinforcing cycle? 1. Early intervention in education. target reading help and literacy programs at struggling readers before gaps become permanent. 2. Fair recognition. Organizations, award committees, and academic journals can adopt blind review or merit-based evaluations to ensure lesser-known contributors aren't overlooked. 3. Leveling the playing field. Platforms might rotate new or less exposed artists and products into prominent positions. This can reduce the tendency for a handful of items to dominate the charts. 4. Awareness and mentorship. Recognizing that such bias exists allows mentors, teachers, or senior professionals to actively support newcomers rather than automatically favoring those who are already well established. The Matthew effect isn't simply about wealth, it's a broad concept showing how early success can create lasting advantages. Its roots lie in biblical parables, and it's been studied in social science, education, network science, economics, and beyond. Once you see it, you'll notice it everywhere. From viral trends on social media, to well-funded labs in top universities, to that friend who just keeps getting lucky. But understanding this phenomenon also highlights ways we can support fair competition and opportunity for everyone. Final thought. Awareness of the Matthew effect can inspire us to step in when we see small inequalities snowball. By giving newcomers a chance to shine, or supporting those who've struggled, we can help everyone thrive, not just the folks already at the top.